What's up, folks? That's a little dog, you can tell. Take this stroll with me. Chop it up for about an hour or so. Get some steps in. It's the keys, man. Clanging too much. Just brought the one. Wasn't playing like that much yesterday. Comes a car, let me get on the sidewalk. Everybody drunk out. You sounded like a janitor with the keys. Yes, I'll hold them. Get back in the street. What should we talk about today? What should I say tonight? What should I say this morning? How's the camera look? Does it look better than it was yesterday? It looks a little brighter, don't it? Get off this. I don't see the moon out. I wanted to get that super zoom on the moon. See, somebody got a trap going on over there with the garage halfway open. Man, Man, you never want to get caught in somebody's crib, man. They got the right to kill you. And speaking of that, it reminds me like I was in the kindergarten. We're living in the north side of Houston, me, my mom, and my siblings. So it had to be about what, 79 maybe? We were living in some apartments, and it was an upstairs, downstairs apartment. Man, when all four of us would sleep with my mom. And this one particular night, I should say morning, we woke up to there's a dude standing over the bed with a butcher knife with a sheet over him. Telling my mom to cook him something to eat. My mom screamed and got the hell out of there. He used a bent fork to cut the plastic of the window by the lock to get in. Yeah, so of course we're kids, we were terrified. Man, and it turned out, I guess he did it to somebody else, and it was the maintenance man who lived there. Man, that was crazy. I still remember it. Shit, that's why I can't sleep with the door unlocked. But even though it wasn't the door that he got in from, it was the window. Yeah, Village Apartments on the north side. Man. Thank goodness he didn't go Michael Myers on us. Sure could have. We're too little, we couldn't have did anything but take it or run and scream. As soon as my mom yelled, he got the hell out of there. Yeah, he was preying on, I guess, single mothers or single women. Man, that's crazy. We would walk to school. Kindergarten. My little brother wouldn't go with us. He was too small. I was in kindergarten, so he must have been about 3 years old. Yeah, well, like my first vivid memory, I probably was like 3 years old. My older brother, me and him would escape from the house. We would leave the house and some corpses. So if I was 3, he must have been like 5. We'd go to the bayfront. We did it numerous times. For this particular time, I don't see how I was 3 years old and had more wits than my older brother. He was like 5. I told him don't cross the street. Man, he crossed the street, got hit by a slug bug. Broke his leg. Of course, the dude stopped, That was back in the 70s, so people were more wholesome back then. But man, for a little kid, And I was running with my underwears back to the house. And we were ready to get in the water. Could have drowned or something crazy like that. That was one of my first memories. Of course, usually when you're a kid and you remember something, it's either tragic or great. Most likely tragic. And I was a little kid as well, and I was on the side of my grandma's house, and there's a lot of rocks back there, little bitty ones, nails, and I used to go outside barefoot. Yeah, I cut my foot with glass. Yeah, they put stitches in my foot. I remember they had to put me in a straitjacket. Man, that was crazy. I got, let's see, other tragic times I remember when I was a kid. Very small kid. Yeah, when you're a kid, you expect to have loving family around you, and the older you grow, the more it falls apart. Like after my uncle passed away, it was back in '88. Man, the whole family just. My grandma moved to Corpus. Me and my cousin stayed there on Buffalo with my grandpa. But I would watch my grandma when she was in the kitchen. I would watch her cook and show me how to wash clothes. And so I did all that for my grandpa when my grandma moved back down to Corpus. Man, my grandpa had that tough love. He had that tough love, man. But I could tell you what, when I was in junior high, he instilled that hustler in me. He worked at a grocery store on MLK in Van Fleet. Lewis and Coker, I still remember. He asked me if I wanted to make some money. Of course I did. I was a little kid. So I started selling papers over there at the front of the store. The Houston Chronicle. What I was making, what? Was it 25 cents a paper? The paper cost $1. Car's coming, so let me get on the sidewalk over here. And like even the days my grandpa didn't work, he would take me over there. Yeah, and that I remember too was like when someone would break into the store, they would call Honeywell would call him probably like once a month or something like that. He'd have to go over there at nighttime. Of course, police would be there. Yeah, I was real close to Jones High School. Most of the, I guess like the employees there, the cashiers were went to the high school. And I would play that skill crane, and man, like every time I put a quarter in there, I'll get some kind of stuffed animal. And I would always give them to a checker there, Amaya Johnson. Man, even though I was like in the 7th grade, I liked her. She was very beautiful. Yeah, it tripped me out because that was a weird place to be at, man. And especially for a young person like me. The heart of South Park. Yeah, and then they would come fill up the Chronicle paper dudes would come fill up the machine. But I was already up to no good back then, truthfully, because they would come and put the newspapers in there. They would give me dirty look. Because I know how to jimmy the machine without putting any money in it. Man, mosquitoes out here biting. Without putting money in it and have at least 20 papers in there. So people like to get the coupons back then. They buy the paper and they get their money's worth, then some, with the coupons. Yeah, the Chronicle came in 3 sections. It's like the front page, it's the business and the sports, and the comics. The comics is where they had the coupons in. Man, my hands would be all black. Be all black. I'll do it Saturday and Sunday, so man, I wouldn't get to sleep in at all. So I would make extra at least 20-25 bucks on Saturday, and another 20-25 bucks on Sunday. It's an extra 50 bucks on top of at least 100 bucks. So I make 150 to 200 on the weekend. I remember when I went and bought my Nintendo. Man, how couldn't I remember that? My cousin took me, rode all the way down Alameda Genoa to the Toys R Us. Then he's like, "Hey, sure you don't want to get that Sega?" I'm like, "Hell no." Man, went from 100 bucks, now what a PlayStation costs, what, 500-600 bucks? Yeah, well, excited about the new Street Fighters coming out, and the new Mortal Kombat's coming out. So I gotta get that. I remember back when I was in high school, I guess it was. Yeah, the Super Nintendo came out. Of course, we had one. My little brother was Had his own little hustling scheme going on. I put him on to hustling. He always getting credit for that. I was selling those little monster men. Those little monster Bonitos that looked like it was a eraser. It was pink. They'll sell them at Food Giant, the neighborhood grocery store. And I was like, to my little brother, man, we could flip these, bro. So we buy all of them we could, and we go to school and started selling them. So I put the little hustling ambition in my little brother, like my grandpa put in me. Yeah, so we got the Nintendo back then. Man, remember when that Street Fighter came out? You know, Street Fighter 6 is coming out Friday. Because you would see everybody crowded around it at the arcade, crowded around those machines, and my little brother played pretty good. He's the one who put me on it, showing me the moves, adding ninja gating. But once he showed me the moves, that's all it took. Man, that's like what, 30 years ago? 30 plus? 30 plus years ago. Then my little brother, he had his little scheme going. All kind of Nintendo cartridges that he would get. He would sell them for like half price. So the games were 40 back then. He was selling for 20. But you gotta bring him a Super Mario or something. Not Super Mario, whichever one it came with back then. I forgot which one it was called. Yeah, Super Mario. He'll pin the sticker off and put the sticker from the new game on there. And he'll take it back to where he got it from, return and get another one, do the same thing. So everybody in the hood had not even just, because he was stacking them up. Not even just Street Fighter, it was Mortal Kombat, it was Madden, Live, whatever was the hidden game at the time. So he would get the game the first day it comes out. Yeah, man, selling them to my friends. Of course, I didn't get a cut out of it. That was his deal. Yeah, but the new one's coming out, and the Mortal Kombat's coming out in September. Oh, it's only coming out for the new Xbox and the PS5. Got a PS5, but I barely played. I started playing it recently. Mortal Kombat is my game of choice. Has all the characters for $20 because it's been out so long. I gotta get that online. Shit. Figure out how to record it and put it on YouTube or something. Street Fighter's coming out. Man, I'll cold on a Street Fighter. My little brother was too, but my Zangief Boy, I can take a motherfucker for that 360. Wow, 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 wow. Make everybody quit. And T-Hawk, the Indian, I'll play from him with him because he's from Mexico and he had the same move. Same type of move. Man. So I know I still got it. Mortal Kombat is a little bit different. You gotta press the block button on that. You just gotta press back and it don't take no energy. Yeah, Power Book 2. What's that? Season 3, Book 2 just finished. Man, that was a crazy ending. But you know, cliffhanger is always crazy at the last one of the season. Man, it was crazy. Everybody turned on Tyreek except for Braden. Man. Well, except for his mom too, but at least his mom is all the way down for him. Hit this block. 27 minutes on here so far. Yeah, I got a couple other games for the PS5, but it's PS4 games because truthfully, those games look just like the same for the PS4 for the PS5. So I'm kind of wondering, well, was it even worth getting it? Was it worth getting it? I don't know. Man, that Mortal Kombat is my shit. I would play with all the characters before we had it with the PS4. That was years ago. So I'm trying to get it reacquainted with the moves. But truthfully, I think the Street Fighter's more fluid though. The gameplay's more fluid. But man, it doesn't have the visual effects or the blood and gore like the Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I was big on the Madden too back then. The Madden, the Live. The Madden was me and my homeboy Robert. Man. But of course, for that it was the Tecmo Bowl on the regular Nintendo. Jerry Rice couldn't be stopped and Herschel Walker couldn't be stopped. Super Tecmo Bowl. And speaking of Super Tecmo Bowl, I would go to my boy Rick's crib after school every day, go play with him after he had got stabbed by one of his friends. Got stabbed by his friend 52 times. Then he tried to run over him. Beasties, what they called him. The dude. I really didn't know him too well. I didn't like him. And he only did like 2 years, or a little less than 2 years behind stabbing my homeboy all those times. Nothing even happened to him. We saw him one time. We got out the car around the corner, but he was already inside. Yeah, he couldn't even talk. My boy Ray couldn't even talk, man. Had a big old incision from here all the way to right here. He had to open up his throat. He recuperated fine though. It took him a while because he couldn't talk for a while. We would communicate, him writing on a notepad. But he should have known that was gonna get him his fucking his other homeboy's moms. I don't care how cool you is with your homeboy. You ain't supposed to be fucking his mom. Because I would wonder, they would see me walking to school and they would pick me up. They'll drop me off and stay in the car. He'll be driving some of the time. They just drop me off and I had no idea where he was going or what. I didn't ask. You didn't ask about shit like that. I was with Rick the day before that happened. Riding around his mom, Rivy. That I didn't find out till we went to school. Went to school on that Monday. My little group of friends. Chiron. I always considered Chiron a friend. He never did anything towards me, but he's starting to lose his mind. He started privileged kid. First time I met him, he had a dirt bike. I go to my homeboy's house and they be riding dirt bikes in the hills over behind the Alameda Manor. I'd ride the bicycle through the hills and they be riding dirt bikes. So I ride my paddle bike over there to John's house, and he had a dirt bike too. So when we go to the hills, I'll be on my bicycle. They be on the dirt bike. Yeah, they give me a ride on the back once in a while, but now it's not like I was asking for a ride. That's not cool riding on the back of one. Yeah, Chiron, he was a privileged kid. He had a truck. Went to school. I guess his mom gave him a truck. He painted it pink. He's calling it the Pink Panther. Had that motorcycle. Then he had an actual motorcycle. His last name was Francis, so me and him had the same homeroom. He was always cool, man. I really liked the kid. He was real cool. Until he started, I don't know, he started wearing like a train conductor's hat. He was driving a 64 Impala. No switches or nothing. Then he started selling drugs. He started selling coke. Small time, of course. But man, one day me and my boy Bird went by BJ's. You know, BJ, he sold drugs too. We'll go over there and because me and Rick would go over there too. At one time I remember me and Rick was there and a lot of other heads was there. Since those mechanic shops over there, South Post Oak by Winston Village, by that Chevron. I think it was a Chevron, Time was Chevron. There was a whole bunch of heads in there, and you know, he would answer the door with the Mac on his shoulder sling. He had like a Beretta on his strapped up to his leg. On the other leg, he had like a Rambo knife. I was like, man, this was ready for the apocalypse. Then one day he was there, everybody left. They went to go get some beer or something, and just me, Rick, there with BJ. Had burglar bars on it, but truthfully, what's that gonna stop? Then those guys that left came back. Hey man, the jump out boys is right there, man. He said, all right, y'all get out of here. They left. Man, he had all kind of guns. He started cocking the AK, gave one to Rick. He loaded up and cocked the other AK. So I'm thinking in my mind, man, if they're gonna do all that, they're gonna bust at the laws. I'm gonna get killed by being a victim of circumstance. I said, man, where's my AK? But me, I was just trying to, because it was a thin sheet metal, try to shoot my way out the back. They had no back door, but it was sheet metal. But luckily, nothing happened. And when those other guys came back, everybody acted like they wanted to split. So me and Rick split with the beer. Went to some Slick Willie's on Westheimer. Played some pool. I think we split without paying for the table. I don't know, I'm just riding. Hey, when you say it's time to go, it's time to go. Yeah, that was. Yeah, then like me and Berg went over there this one day. It was on a Friday we went over there, I think it was. Yeah, we were there and some dude came in there. He had a pit bull. BJ had a pit bull. I think his name was Sheila. Aggressive dog. But you know, the dogs could sense fear. They can smell the adrenaline pumping through your blood when you're scared. And it'll bite you, man. It bit the shit of that dude on the back of his leg. I was tripped out because she was like right under the seat that me and Berg was sitting on, but we weren't scared of it. So yeah, we were supposed to go to my boy Pookie's house and take some hits of acid. Man, by the time we got there, they already took theirs, and they took 2 hits, then liquid gel tabs. I only took acid one time previously, and I did not like it. See, that's the kind of psychedelic drug. If you're going in, if you take it in your back of your mind, you're not gonna like it. It's gonna be a bad trip. But how am I supposed to know that? Yeah, so we took it, and my boy Woody, my other homeboy named Woody, he was the one who got it and all that, and he had his vampire teeth, his blackout eyeballs, and so when we got there, I was already tripping before I even took it. I said, man, what's going on? I said, man, you tripping, man. You tripping? No, he eventually took out the eyeballs? I guess probably was irritating him anyway. And we seen it all. Rick had caught over there. This was back in the 90s, man. See, they had arrested Chiron. The laws had went over there and to that dude BJ's and jammed him up. You know, and they got a lot of people going over there. And somehow they caught some other dude who went to school with us. Yeah, and they told it on him, man, because they already knew who it was. Like the next day, they had him a city under siege, and man, because man, it tripped me out. They said China Francis. He had set up some coke deal with some Caucasians from Austin, and he got in the back seat with him. He got in the back seat, those dudes in the front seat. I don't know if they're supposed to buy a brick or what, for like 20 G's, and he smoked them. He smoked both of them. Man, it's a big ass dog. For 20 G's, he smoked 2 dudes for 20 G's, and they told on him. So he was on the run, and they caught him in Venezuela, probably about 15, I think they caught him. Man, they gave that boy football numbers. Yeah, they caught him in Venezuela for 20 G's. He was on the run for about 20 years. $1,000 a year for to be on the run. He ain't thinking about it. He's just thinking 20 G's right then and there. He ain't thinking about the consequence. Yeah, that boy gone for the rest of his life. 20 G's. Yeah, some people get gone for the rest of their life for little nothing these days, especially these youngsters. I couldn't do it, man. The hate is not in me like that. I don't have a lot of money or nothing, but man, taking someone's life. You gotta do it then and there when they're trying to do something to you. After that, it's premeditated, and you catch that L with that. I don't know, that's a lot to be doing behind somebody who's not worth it. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Even one time we were coming home from Pookie House, because that's where we would go get fucked up on the weekend. He stayed Southwest Side, Park at Braeswood. Because we used to get fucked up at Woody's crib. He stayed at what, the Pavilion on West Park and what's it called? Rampart, I think. West Park and Rampart. Because I used to work at the grocery store over there, and then we would just go in there with baskets. One basket full of cases of beer, one basket full of food, all kind of munchies. We didn't have enough beer for the whole weekend. Budweiser, Bud Ice, that's where the Bud Ice came out with those rigid cans like the Dr. Pepper, Miller Genuine Draft. We wasn't getting no malt liquor back then, but man, we'd get cases of beer. Hot wings, pizzas, all nuggets, all kind of shit. Just roll right out the store with it. I used to work there, and some of my friends still work there. Oh, my boy. Not my boy anymore, but turned me on to start snagging them cigarette cartons from up there. Send them at the store, the local convenience store. I would get like 10 at a time. 10 at a time, 10 at a time. Sometimes even more than that. But try not to make it too obvious. They almost caught me one time too. Because there was no way for me to get them out, and I wasn't even working there anymore. There was no way to get them out and jack some combination locks and put them in the workers' lockers, and somebody snitched me out. The neocon, the African that worked the deli. I don't know what happened, but they busted those locks open and they snitched me out. Yeah, so I was in the 12th grade. Christmas vacation. I was in the art class. Mrs. Mosley, we were watching a video. I don't remember exactly. They said they wanted me to go to the principal's office. Assistant principal, Miss Johnson. I went over there. I see my homeboy Reg coming out. I was like, man, that's kind of weird. I'm going there and he's going there. Then they started broke it all like, I heard that you're selling candy at school. I'm like, what? I was like, no, ma'am. But I was taking those regular sized candy bars and selling them for like 10 cents lesser than the vending machine. So every day at school, I'm coming home with at least 50 bucks. 50 bucks at least. Instead of me walking home with the candy, because it'll melt, I just give it away at the end. Selling them 2 for 1 or whatever. Just try to get rid of them. Man, that's 1,000%. I don't know. Infinite profit right there. Man, a lot of candy out every day. Every day I was snagging candy. But see, I started selling candy when I was on junior high. Go to the store, Buffalo right there. Buy blow pop for 15 cents and sell it for a quarter. At school, so I'll make a 10-cent profit. Buy all the blow pops I can and take them to school. And yeah, my grandpa put that hustle in me like that. But now these days it's a whole different age, man. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, when I went there, she called the assistant principal, called my house and asked my mom if they had no evidence. They didn't have catch me in the act or nothing, so I already know the laws, and I was already running the streets by then, so they asked my mom if she wanted them to arrest me at school or at the house. So at home, so shit, I didn't even go home. I went to Brick House. Woody was there. Brother Al was there. They were convincing me that they can't do nothing to me. I already knew they couldn't, because they didn't catch me. They just going by hearsay, because they didn't have cameras back then. They just had them in the courtesy booth. Yeah, after that shit blew over. When I went back to school, they didn't say nothing. Oh, we almost got caught. With a gang of them. But we just dropped them off and sold them. Then the dude at the store started jewing me down, dollar at a time. It was the brother. Man, we went and got rid of him. Then we were going back to the apartments to drop me off, and then here comes the assistant manager coming in the apartments right behind us. Bam! Had some big old humongous speed bumps. His Riviera hit the bottom of it. Bam! He jumps out the car, talking about, y'all stealing out the store? Like, nah. He wanted Reg to pop his trunk. When Reg popped the trunk, because we didn't have nothing. He said, yeah, Felix was mad because the security guard stole his stuff that he was stealing. Because he had the keys to the back door on the produce side. We could tell who's taking them out from over there. Man, at one time, Rick was like, hey, man, my dad will buy whatever kind of meat you could get. He'll buy it for half price. I'm like, oh, yeah? He's like, yeah. Man. I stole like $400 worth of meat. big ass briskets, big ass T-bones, not even cut yet. Man. Well, needless to say, years down the line, the store went out of business. No, I take that back. Moved across the street. Then it moved down the street. So I didn't go out of business, but we put a hurting on it. See how many steps I got. What the hell my phone's doing? Dang, emergency calls. Man, I don't know. It's tripping. Trying to call the laws on me. The phone. Need to watch. Yeah, and then, man, that was some crazy times, man. High school. Man, I had the baddest chick in almost all my classes, man. Man. She'd get me right to school, too. Man, she was we were partners in computer math in 11th grade. She sat right behind me in geometry and in front of me. Geometry in 10th grade. But man, she was the most beautiful girl at school ever since junior high. Man. Everybody already knew she was the baddest. Danielle Charlton. Man, she was so beautiful. One of the most beautiful people I've ever met. I don't throw that word around lightly. I should say gorgeous. Beautiful / gorgeous. Man. That's crazy, man. But back in the old high school days. Yeah, I used to work at Astroworld. Back in the 9th going to the 10th. Man, minimum wage was $3.80 back then. Astroworld kick us down with an extra dime. Then I'll spend the night over there working. I'll work all day. Even worked overnight. But it was seasonal, so it wasn't any overtime. It was just $3.90 flat rate. Yeah. Man, people would get hurt on those roller coasters over there. That was the year the Ultra Twister came out. Man, I don't know how many times people got hurt on there. The Excalibur 2. Then the Skyscraper will get stuck all the time. I think it was only like 7 or 8 7 stories. Yeah, that was probably the scariest right there, that skyscraper. Until later when they had that dungeon drop, it was 23 stories high. And your legs dangled outside it wasn't in no cage. Dungeon drop. My homeboy's boy, I wouldn't call him my boy, because man, that dude acts so shady. Mike had moved to the neighborhood and he stayed on the corner right there on Rick Street, and I was living over there with Rick and them, and he asked me to go to Astroworld with him. I went. So I wrote that dungeon drop. Then I wrote that cyclone like 3-4 times in a row because there was that many people there. because that company, if his wife's company, rented it out. And I still came back on time. They were still in line for riding the taxi cab. Man. Oh yeah, we was coming home from Pookie House that one time, me and Berg, and we saw the tow truck Mike. He flagged us down. We stopped. He said, "Hey, y'all know anybody lives on Brownstone behind Luke's?" We like, "Yeah." He said, "Man, somebody went over there and massacred the whole family." Like, what? Tried to roll by there, but the cops had it closed down right there. Turns out to be Anthony was selling dope to some persons in North Carolina. Man, I don't know how, why. He let them know where he stayed at, man. He went over there, shot the dad, shot the brother, was on furlough. Killed, well, shot the mom, the dad, the brother, the neighbor, Anthony's girl. She was pregnant. The only one survived was the mom. She had a hole in her head. Man, that was a somber time, man. Sheesh. That's crazy, man. Oh, they barely put him to execute him earlier this year, I think. So he was on death row for about, 30 years? On death row. They robbed him for some dope. I don't know how much they got, but they used to take pounds out of state. Used to get the white boy to drive. Kevin. Yeah, that was crazy, man. $50 is low. I'm surprised I made it. Hopefully I make it to close to another 50. I don't drink, smoke, or anything, so don't do drugs. Don't smoke weed anymore. Yeah, but I decided to start walking because I was gaining weight. Been gaining weight, and yeah, because I was, I've been sad for a couple of years already. It affects you mentally, but I'm strong, man. I push through it. Yeah, when your mom does you bad, when your girl does you bad, everybody does you bad, it's easy to fall through the cracks. Thank goodness I did it, man. I was on the verge. But my boy helped me out. Helped me move. Helped me move out of town. So he saved my life, essentially. I tell him that. Saved my life, bro. Yeah, I love him like a brother. Hardly ever talk to him or see him though. But he knows he can depend on me. Whatever I got or I can help him with, I'm down like 4 flat tires. Yeah, we got Mortal Kombat. I think I'm more excited for that game than the Street Fighter. Back to the games. But then Street Fighter's gonna be like 80 plus tax, and Mortal Kombat's gonna be like what, 110 plus tax. Man, what happened to the games was only $40. Madden, boy, me and my boy Robert, Doug, we go hard on it. Nobody could beat us. It's either me or him. Then I seen some techniques some dude did, and he was spin all the way to the goal line. I started mimicking that, and spin all the way. Yeah, I've been through a lot. I've seen a lot. I know everybody else has too, especially when they get older in age. Depends on your environment that you're in. But when you grow up in the hood, you gotta be ready for hood things, you know. Guns and violence and drinking and smoking weed and selling drugs and yeah, I've even been shot one time, but right around the corner from the crib, so it's already been what, hour and 2 minutes. Can't even see how much I walk because my phone's not, maybe my watch is not letting me. Yeah, I got many more true hood stories. So many homeboys I know that got killed. Some smoked themselves. Man, that mental health, man, it's a big thing to deal with. Don't fall through the cracks. Y'all can make it, man. Just put your faith in God. I haven't went to church since the pandemic. Before the pandemic, we would go as a family, but it didn't take long after that for the family to fall apart. I'll eventually get to that. I don't try to dwell on that, because that was just recent, and man, talking about somebody fucking you over, man. But you know what? They gotta live with it. They lost the best person in their life. The best person in my life came out to be the worst person in my life. And I lost some other persons that I really cared about in my life by choosing her. Man, I know my destiny ain't supposed to be like that. I know I'm not supposed to end like that. Yeah, so I'm single, and that's always nice to have somebody that you can call your best friend. You can really rely on and tell them everything and do for them as they do for you, and even more, and that you die for them. Of course, if you die for somebody, you kill for somebody. Yeah, just gotta stay out of harm's way and know that the Lord has something bigger for you, no matter which Lord you believe in, or if you believe in the Lord at all. It's always good to have someone that's tries to uplift you, and no matter what the situation. But it's better when it's a loved one and not a total stranger. But hopefully I won't be a total stranger to you guys. I like to keep it 1,000, so we'll see where this road takes us. Figuratively, I know I'll find somebody out here good. Thought I had somebody, but yeah, I don't know. I have trust issues, so I let her know I had trust issues. I'm sure she had them too. But when you don't answer the phone and you don't call for a while and don't return calls, it's blatantly obvious. That's their choice, not mine. I don't need that in my life. I need to be with somebody I can trust 1,000%. They trust me 1,000%. That's all you got. All I have in this world, balls, and my word. For the first 5 minutes, I guess, or 7 minutes, started off kind of lackadaisical. So I was just peeping the scene. Make sure nobody runs upon me or car run over me. Sorry, it's gonna be about an hour and 10 minutes. So like, comment, subscribe. I still gotta put some more content, because I got a gang of Hot Wheels, man. I grew up playing with Hot Wheels. That was my favorite thing to play with. They only cost $1 at the time. Now they raised it up a little bit since then, but and Matchbox, I really like Matchbox better way back then. They had more detail. And Star Wars Monitos. Man, I got a gang of it, man, and I'll start putting that content up. I don't know what y'all like. We can talk about. Ask me questions, man. Ask me questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Let me see. I hear somebody jamming. We'll see if we can do it again tomorrow, folks. Same bad time, same bad channel. Peace out, baby. I'm waiting for the moon so I could get a glimpse of that with the 200 megapixel, but it's not out. Alright then, folks. See you later.